Sup, G's? Finally back. Okay, we have been consolidating. This is the weekly chart. Supposed to look at the daily. Okay. 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 So based on this today, we have to see what price does. This is a whole period that we didn't trade in. Okay, I see that. Big volume imbalance. Let's go down to the 1 hour. The market is still quite bullish up here. We might even hit day today. Let's see. Let's just place this here for security. We're bullish here. We have been going up since 8:30. How it happened? Yep. And went up. Now we're just gonna wait and see what happens. If we are provided with a trade opportunity, we want to enter, and if not, we're not going to enter. And we'll probably end it for today. Not probably. Definitely end it for today. As not trading is also a trade. How's that? Same thing. Same thing here is happening. So the market is going to go here probably. There's a high possibility it goes there. Wait. Relatively equal highs. Relatively equal lows, man. That's what I mean. The market in the respected the 15-minute OTE then went up while also forming a 15-minute relatively equal low. As of now, the NQ and ES are moving relatively the same. Now we just have to watch and see what happens. What news are we getting? We are getting ISM manufacturing PMI. That's at 5 p.m. 10 a.m. in the New York Times. And it is non-farm payroll week. I do not enter using the 1 minute. I don't do that. Let's see how price will react here. Is there a possibility that we might come here and then push back up? But I would be more in favor if it used the 15-minute itself instead of the 5. But we're also in a new week opening gap. Yeah, correct.
game is the root of all of Need for Speed's trauma? My personal favorite Need for Speed game of all time, Need for Speed Pro Street. At the time, EA felt that behind the camber, the body kits, and the ground effects that maybe there was damage to the manifold. Was there really any danger at all? Exclusive to the PlayStation, Gran Turismo was just cruising all alone in their own lane. They were the premier racing sim on home consoles, and in the same time frame, they sold about 55 million games. And that's only on the console exclusive. That's only on one console. Need for Speed released on the PlayStation, the Xbox, and the GameCube. Pro Street was EA's first foray into the world of legalized racing rather than their usual edgy, brash style of illegal arcade racing. Need for Speed performed extremely well considering that fact. This caused EA to be unsure of which direction to take Need for Speed in anymore. You see, at the time, Gran Turismo was the valedictorian of all the racing games, and a newcomer was becoming the salutatorian. And Xbox's new Forza was making a name for themselves as well. See, Forza 1 and then its sequel Forza 2 increased its sales and were very, very popular on the Xbox. Gran Turismo and Forza were firmly in their own little lane as their console-exclusive marquee racer, both as a simcade, which is kind of the blend between sim racing and arcade racing. Need for Speed was firmly riding middle lane, all alone to themselves. Yes, I know Midnight Club exists, but that's a different conversation. With Pro Street's success, selling almost 11 million copies, it left Need for Speed in a very strange spot. Clearly, their first dive into the legal racing world was a very big success. At this point now, they're thinking, do they stick with what they know, the tried and true path that they've carved for themselves, or do they follow their competitors and cave to the pressures? Well, they kind of did both, and not not very well commercially. And I want to say I love most of these games that I'm about to list. It's mostly because I love the jump into racing sims. Racing sims make my little heart flutter. EA tried to do what Activision and Treyarch did with Call of Duty at that time, whereas Activision and Treyarch would take turns flip-flopping the releases of Call of Duty. They would do Modern Warfare, then a Black Ops, and a Modern Warfare, and a Black Ops, and it really worked out for them. I think that's the peak of Call of Duty. However, what EA did was not nearly as successful or as good. EA flip-flopped. Every year they went from track racing to street racing to track racing to street racing, and eventually they dove headfirst into the very safe and sterile world of sim racing by releasing Need for Speed Shift. Which I love, by the way. I love Shift and Shift 2. But it kind of ruined Need for Speed's reputation a little bit. Following Pro Street, about the 5 or 6 years after, those sales numbers were just dropping remarkably. It was very consistent too. And that slide continued to this very day with the release of Need for Speed Unbound in 2022. It is undeniable, looking at these sales numbers, that EA clearly lost their way, even after trying to grave rob their own franchise. EA unashamedly dug up their magnum opus out of the grave, brought out the fucking AEDs, and tried to revive it just to bring sales back, thinking that their little break in case of emergency option with just name recognition would bring all these fans rushing back to Need for Speed. I don't think it's any coincidence, though, that their two best-selling games from 2010 to 2015 are the two games that have names that are easily recognized by Need for Speed fans. The magic that they had, the formula that they had perfected over a decade, was just shattered. And like every unlucky suburban kid, Pro Street is a cause of that divorce. We know that Pro Street was Need for Speed's first official swim in the legal racing pool. You see, Gran Turismo had perfected it, and Forza was, at the time, perfecting it. But Need for Speed had something that neither one of them don't. A vibe. It's a feeling, something intangible that you just can't explain. Need for Speed had it. Forza and Gran Turismo did not. They had big wings and body kits and rims and decals, and Need for Speed was just cool. Need for Speed was edgy. It had style. It had just had so much big personality in it.
By the looks of it today, I
Pro
don't
Street
think there will be
somehow
any
managed
sit-ups.
to not only carve a path in the legal
It's been
world
how
of
many
racing,
minutes
but
since I've
also
been in
preserving
the
all
market?
of
15
the
minutes
Need
right
for
now.
Speed flavors that they had created.
Plus, there
I mean,
is news that will be
look at that piece of
released
this opening
at
cutscene
10
just to start the
o'clock,
game.
which I don't usually play by then, as it is based on my rules anyway. but we'll see.
You open up to this big, giant car festival. There's tires burning and squealing. You hear the engines roaring. There's a DJ. You get these car girls. It just feels right. You look at it, you know that's Need for Speed. When you look at this, you're not confusing it with any other franchise. You know exactly what you're going to get. In Pro Street, you get to play as Ryan Cooper, who's this up-and-coming racer who is trying to make a name for himself. And then eventually you get the eye of Ryu Watanabe, who is considered the Street King. He is the master of all four racing elements: drift, grip, speed, and drag. And as you progress through the game, you catch the eyes of other people. You get the eye of other street kings like Ryan Krieger.
I don't like the fact that we have these small candles right now. I think I might have to close the session after 1:30. Yeah, I'm not gonna enter this trade because it's not part of my my rules. I usually don't enter. I don't enter in the 1 minute because sometimes I might create a fake. What do you call it? Fake out. Jesus Christ! Am I forgetting my trading knowledge? Whoa! December. You see what I mean? Exactly what I mean. I had a feeling this might happen. And look at the ES itself. It already touched that minus buy side. So yeah, what can I say? I'm ending the trading session today, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Wait, even now it goes to the, what do you call it, the 15 minutes. I'm done for today, even if it goes there. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time.